Hey, welcome back, everybody. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a concept that I kind of came up with. It just made me think one day when I was talking to people, and you always hear when people say, well, this person's not getting back to me, or I've texted them and they never text me back, or they blew me off, or they just, whatever reason, they're not getting back to you. I started to think about something when that happened to me, and I started to think of more like a popcorn. You ever pop popcorn before? Like personally, not like a microwave, but like actually pop popcorn. So when you put the popcorn in the pot, right, you don't pour one kernel in there and then just stare at it and wait and wait and wait and wait for that kernel to pop. When you pop popcorn, you put a whole bunch of them there, hundreds and hundreds of kernels, right? A couple things are necessary in order for you to pop popcorn. You got to have heat, right? So there's got to be heat. And in our business, what's heat? That's constant communication, constant dripping on these people, constant moving. Keep the heat on, right? And just like popcorn, when you're talking to people, what's going to happen if you keep the heat on is eventually one of those kernels is going to pop. The crazy part about it is you don't know which one that's going to be. You can't look in and say, oh, I think it's this one. I think it's this one kernel. I'm going to stick with this one kernel and ignore all the rest. Doesn't work that way. What you do is you keep the heat on and you don't care which kernel pops first. But this is kind of how it works, right? You've got a bunch of people in your pipeline. Stuff's not going the way you want, but if you keep putting the heat on, meaning you keep putting people in the pipeline, keep moving forward, the popcorn is going to pop. Eventually what happens is this. You hear something, pop, and then pop, 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 pop. And what happens? Eventually you've got tons and tons of popcorn. But there's also another lesson I want you to think about. It's not just the popcorn that popped. At the end of it, when you're done and you pour the popcorn out, there's always probably 10 to 15% of the kernels that never pop. They never pop, which means some people are never going to buy from you. They're never going to join the business. They're never going to call you back. That's just the way that it is. You don't get mad at the popcorn and say, you know what? I'm going to take those kernels that didn't pop. I'm going to put them back in and repop them. What do? You throw them away and you start with a whole new batch of popcorn. So guys, that's what I want you to think about when you're frustrated about where your business is going. When you're frustrated about people not calling you back, all you have to do is just keep putting popcorn in the kettle, right? And keep the heat on, keep communicating. And I promise you, if you do that long enough, guess what's going to happen? You're going to pop, 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 pop with recruits, sales, business. It's going to be amazing. So let's use that. Put that in your mind and think about it consistently when you're down and frustrated, because it's going to get you through some tough times.